And it's up.
Excellent.
All right. So yeah, BrambleBlast.
How fun is it to say that name?
It's a pretty fun name. I'm not gonna lie, man. BrambleBlast. It's like guys who play female characters in MMOs. It's like, well, you're just playing this because not that it has any actual reason, but just because it's a little bit more fun. Things like naming yourself BrambleBlast. I doubt that is something somebody that is like, I need a name that's going to strike fear into the hearts of nerds and forums online. No, that's not what BrambleBlast is designed to do, guys. Alright, we are designed to get into this game, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the go button and get into our round of 8 matchup between BrambleBlast, our Protoss player, spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Fighting Spirit, and his opponent, the Teal Zerg player, who we've actually gotten a chance to cast already. This is going to be Trutacz.
And Trutacz, really, really great Zerg player, I believe from Poland. BrambleBlast, I don't actually know where they're from, but pretty excited to see. Just, you know, they've gotten this far in the bracket, so they must be pretty good. Casted them last week. I can't actually remember what their performance was like, so, I mean, you could say it was unmemorable, but you could also say that Sham2 has the worst memory in the world. It's basically one or the other.
I mean, I would fight you for the title of worst memory in the world. I got a little bit of that going on for myself.
I don't know, man. You were able to, like, start reciting the map changes for Demian off the top of your head.
Well, I mean, I cast that map in the tournament itself, so it's like, well, I just have that in there. So I guess that does count as memory. Yeah. I forgot the word memory.
You forgot the word memory. All right, you might have me beat this time.
Well, to answer your question, Trutacz is Polish, so...
Yeah, so he is... Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, so he is Polish, and he's playing against a guy that I've actually not heard of before, so I'm not sure if there is anything out there about BrambleBlast? Okay,
BrambleBlast! BrambleBlast! Just, like, start coming up with different ways to make it sound like it's like a super move being yelled out in, like, an RPG. And now, for my final move, BrambleBlast!
I just can't think of too many ways to take that name seriously. Should be noted that BrambleBlast did take 5th in the Have At You #2 tournament, so, you know.
Wow.
A little bit of a plug.
Look at this guy pulling out the results.
Do not doubt my Google foo, young one, for it is mighty.
I am but weak and meager in its presence. Anyway, we saw an overpull. Oh my god, overpull coming out of here from Trutacz, going straight on into that hatchery. Nothing too crazy coming out here. Not going to be seeing that crazy Eon Zerg 3-hatch type play here. Whereas BrambleBlast is going to be going into a Forge Fast Expand, getting that Photon Cannon and gate. Actually, double Photon Cannons, no Gateway yet.
Yeah, so double Photon Cannons is pretty defensive. If you're really careful, you can get away with building a gateway instead of the cannon and pumping out a Zealot in time to defend against anything crazy coming your way. But immediately throwing up the Nexus right behind that, this is a no gateway opener to the Fast Expand. We saw the gateway version of this in our previous game. So this is going to be against a Zerg player who will have 3 bases up, once again sending the drone not to the natural of another base, but instead just to the 3rd here on this map. That's actually kind of interesting. I would have definitely rather seen that built in another base's natural. I think that's kind of how, at least I'm used to seeing it.
Right, yeah. That's what I think we've seen most times, though, on Fighting Spirit, is seeing that 3rd base get grabbed.
Okay.
I think. I might be incorrect on that one, but yeah, we saw Eon Zerg do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just used to seeing naturals grabbed instead of 3rd bases, but hey, this is Fighting Spirit, and these players definitely have played out these styles many, many times, so just making it a little bit of a note of that. Probe now going into the Zerg's natural will be able to be incredibly annoying, but won't be able to get up into the main thanks to 2 guarding Zerglings.
I don't know if he actually scouted that 3rd base, though, actually, now that I think about it. But the reveal map bug is true, so I can't actually see if he actually saw the hatchery. I know that he at one point scouted in that direction. But whether or not he actually scouted after the hatchery was placed is a completely different answer. Cybercore coming down here from BrambleBlast, just kind of going for a pretty standard play for 2-base Protoss. We are seeing the Lair Tech coming out here from Trutacz, so we're going to see that Spire come down probably pretty quick after that.
I'm looking at this wall here for the Protoss player.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that as well.
Yeah, so the idea of a wall in when you're going for a cannon or a Forge Fast Expand is that either it serves a buffer between the incoming Hydras and your cannons, but I think this pretty much just donates these buildings for free. I don't know.
Well, he's got 2 Zealots there, so he's got that going for him. That's nice. Spire Tech coming out here from Trutacz, so we are going into what pretty much every Zerg likes to do on this map. Could be just for Corsairs, could be going straight on into Mutas. Single probe going out on the map yet again, gonna get caught by a bunch of Zergling and get denied. And
there you go. So now with no probe out on the map, no real vision, no scouting, this is a little bit scary for the Protoss player. You can actually see him pulling a probe just to complete this wall off, because now he's like, oh man, that was a bunch of Zerglings. I need to hold this front.
With a single probe and a bunch of Zealots.
Single probe actually makes a lot of difference, because I think it's 2 Zealot hits and a probe hit kills a Zergling, so makes it a lot easier to get the hits off that you need. And now trying to push out, and it will disperse this concave of Zerglings.
Little spooky though, but getting a whole bunch of gateways behind this, getting Zealot speed as well, so we're probably just be seeing a +1 Zealot charge lot build. Build, speed build. It's not charge lot. Charge lot's not a thing in this game.
Hitting Templar Archives at the same time too, so if this big Zealot swell doesn't scare the Zerg player enough, that's really what you want to do. You want to scare the Zerg player into producing extra drones, or extra Zerglings instead of drones. So if this Zealot push out isn't scary enough, then he's going to have High Templars juicing up back at base to hold any attempting counterattack.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, there's no anti-air, and there's a bunch of Mutas coming on over. I think this might just be game.
I don't got a lot to say about this, man. This is...
I don't have many things to say about this either.
Yikes. Where's that cannon in the main? Not built yet. He's just gonna focus down the cannon.
This is kind of rough.
That is not a cannon, that is a canton.
Oh.
Not, oh god, the probe-manity.
I gotta say,
go for it
that cannon under construction and not being complete definitely warped his chances of winning.
Did in fact warped him not into a concave direction or a convex direction, but into a weird.
I got nothing.
Terrible.
Zell's going to the 3rd base right now of the Protoss. Might be able actually to be able to shut this down. There are a lot of Zealots here, but yeah, that's just GG. Ooh, that was rough.
Yikes.
That was rough.
Okay, man. Sometimes you're gonna just have to watch games like that. GG. So Trutacz takes game number 1, and that is going to send us into game number 2, which should be up right about now.
Right about now.
Right about now. So yeah, that was a little bit wacky. Turns out if you don't build anti-airs against Mutas and you don't scout the Mutas, yikes, you're gonna have a bad time, and 2 cannons at the front will not save you.
I don't see the game.
It's just all 4 1s.
Yeah, I know. It's not saying it doesn't exist.
All right, let me try.
Yeah, what if we just rehost again? Oh, Dandy's an A+. We should probably catch some of Dandy's games.
Yikes, I did not know that.
Neither did I.
There we go. All right.
He played a person named Mistakes.
Ta-da! There you go.
Excellent.
And we're good. So here we go. Just waiting for the anti-hack to hook up.
The nice little download of 88 kilobytes is taking a very long time here. All the way from Korea.
Yeah, sending it over my tubes through the internet and here. And away we go into our second game of this series. This is going to be, game number 2, as the second game of the series is wont to be. So, down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, this is going to be our orange Zerg player Trutacz. I keep pronouncing the CZ at the end like it's supposed to be part of the word.
I can't type. There we
not.
go. And over here on the bottom left-hand corner, our blue Protoss player, who was unceremoniously mutaharessed to death. It is BrambleBlast.
You could say he got mutilated.
Oh, blasted off the map into the brambles.
Indeed. Yeah, he got bramble blasted a little bit there in game number 1. Now, game number 2, we're going to see if history repeats itself here.
That was the poor time to start sipping water.
Indeed it was. Indeed it was. Right as I go for the handoff. No, not going to be good enough. Also, wait, what map was our first game on?
Fighting Spirit. Okay, so there is a map rule called the Salty Runback. It's a thing that happens in fighting games. I love using it in StarCraft because it allows for evolution. Zerg joke. Basically, what the Salty Runback is, if you lost a map, you can play it again. But if you won a map, you cannot choose the map again. So the idea is, you can say, no, wait, there's no way I should have lost on that map. I love that map. I have build orders for that map. I always win this map, especially in this matchup. Let me take it again. And you can see the evolution of 2 players playing the map again. Which, you obviously get different ways that people play. It's something that I've seen in Melee quite a bit, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to work in StarCraft. Apparently, Filthy Rake just decided to take the same rule set that I use for Have At You, which was a good call because I'm a genius tournament organizer, and do the same thing.
Well, hey, there you go. This is this is going to be a salty run back, but this is going to be I feel like history repeating itself. Double cannon wall once again here at the natural, and should see a Nexus thrown down here any moment. Well, not any moment. It's going to be down there in a second. But either way, the builds here from our friend BrambleBlast needs maybe a little bit of work. So essentially, right now you have 2 cannons warping in. Before they could really realistically be Zerg. I mean, this defends a 4 pool. So, you can't really play all your games defending 4 pools.
You could, but you're not going to make it out of pools. Hey! Torment logic joke. Anyway,
Nice. I was coughing during the entire
okay,
thing, so
I was like, oh no. But anyway, we've got some pretty much the same thing going on here. We did actually take the natural base, so Trutacz went forward in time, heard your criticism of him taking that 3rd base, went back in time, and played this match a little bit differently. Does grab that natural base of the top right-hand corner.
Okay, so yeah, this is maybe a little bit closer to what I expected last game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little bit more defensible in these positions. I'm not sure exactly what goes into that logic. Trutacz will be doing that. On the other side, Nexus just coming down. So for all intents and purposes, this game is basically the same. I think BrambleBlast Probe did scout the expansion. I think. Did he? Did he not? Somebody in chat correct me on that one. I did not catch that probe. I was a little bit too ADD and went elsewhere on the map. The scouting probe will be found out here by our scouting Zergling pair. They will be chasing it around for the foreseeable future. Not that that actually means anything.
Yeah,
nothing. Hydras though instead of mutas. So.
Well, you know what? I kind of like the idea of going to Hydras. The salty run back. He says, all right, well, mutas were too easy, so let's go with Hydras this time. You think you can beat me on this match? I'll just do it with a different tech that you weren't expecting.
I mean, Zealots can hit the ground units, so that might work better for BrambleBlast.
That's true. Overlord's just kind of hanging out right over the Nexus, has no cares in the world. He probably feels a little bit lost. It's like, wow, I'm generally used to seeing a lot of creep. This time, seeing a lot of shiny golden things all around me. I don't really know what's going on here. The life of the Overlord. Very interesting thing.
Ah, the Overlord. In its peaceful, natural environment. I wonder, maybe somebody out there who's like a lore expert can tell me what exactly Overlords are. They're giant floating brains, right? Like they're the ones that
always think that they're just giant floating balloons. Like they're just full of gas.
Well, their icon looks like an elephant.
Yeah, which is really interesting because in StarCraft 2 they then gave up the giant elephant thing and went for like giant pincers for their front.
That was always a little.
I guess they decided they needed to eat. There's a lot of idle probes here.
But hey, you gotta get your macro cycles down. This is one of the reasons that a lot of people are saying changing your hotkeys in the new Brood War was going to be like really broken because you could rebind keys that were very far away from your core setup.
Yeah.
Like P for building probe. I actually really like that P builds a probe because you set your nexi to like 0 and 9. And then you just go 0P, 9P, and it builds probes at both of your bases. So
today I learned that I've been doing my macro for Protoss all wrong.
No,
I've been using like 5 and 6,
and
I'm like, oh, okay, so I hit the middle of the keyboard, then the end of the keyboard, and go back. Middle of the keyboard, end
I
of the
think
keyboard.
0P, 9P is really good. But we are going to set up for a bust here. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah.
Trutacz is... man, I do it again. Trutacz is going to be looking for a big Hydra bust here. Only 2 cannons. He's going to dive forward, taking them out there. These cannons don't even stand a chance. Another one thrown up as an emergency. 2 more cannons on the way, but too many Hydras.
Yeah, there's just way too many Hydras. The probe's getting pulled, but I don't think they are going to be able to make much of a difference. Trutacz is going to be able to take game number 2 pretty nice and quick. So it's pretty quick 2-0, especially for the semifinals. This tournament wasn't quite seeded just yet because it is the first week of it. But after the next couple of weeks, we should get some better seeding out of this so we can get a little bit more of the... Because we had like Scan versus Trutacz in the beginning of the whole entire tournament.
Yeah,